Hey, okay. Hey, everybody, welcome back. This is Snark Alec Radio on Live 365 Loud and Loaded. This is Kelly Tool at Kellythul. But for tonight, that's pronounced Kelly Cool. But with me, as always, is Tony. Hi, Tony.
Hey, Kelly. We have a jam-packed show tonight, and we've got a whole slew of guests. We've got Dylan from Dylan Knows. Say hi, Dylan.
Hello. How are you?
And, as usual, a man who needs no introduction, a man of wealth and taste. It's Mikey B, and with Mikey B, we've got Tony Viejo.
What's up?
So what are we talking about tonight, Kel?
Tonight, I was waiting to hear us up from Mike, and so I was going there. But for tonight, thank you, Mike. That's very helpful. Tonight we're going to talk about Werealive and the upcoming finale. We a little bit later start tonight for Snark Alec Radio. That allowed all of us to watch Defiance. So we're going to be talking about the most recent episode of Defiance. We'll talk about Snakehead Swamp and Tweet of the Night. A little bit of Under the Dome. I think we're a little light on who all saw that, but Tony's got a quibble, so we're going to want to get into that. And then we may or may not either continue Mike's game from last week or talk a little tech. We'll see where we end up. But with that, before we get into all of that fun, we're going to start with Snark Alec News with Mr. Tony Solo.
Okay, so really important, people. If you haven't gotten up to speed with Werealive, you should do that as soon as you can. Next week, we're going to have Jay Olegario, who played Dot 2 in that series until his death.
And he's going to kick Tony's ass.
Oh, yeah, probably.
It's going to be awesome. But I'm there for you. As I said, I'm going to be there for you.
Next Thursday, Jay is going to be on the show. Later on, we're going to give you the details if you don't know about the finale and the ins and outs to all of that stuff. Hey, on this Saturday, In the Name of the King, Part 3, The Last Mission, is going to be on Sci-Fi. It's not a Sci-Fi original, but it's going to be premiering on Sci-Fi. So if you happen to be home and not doing anything, we're going to have a Snark Fest on that.
Any recon on that movie at all, Tony? So it's not a Sci-Fi original, but is it snarkable? I assume.
Probably. There have been 2 other parts.
It looks a lot like the Dungeons and Dragons movies that we've snarked on before too. So it looks like to me, anyway.
Cool.
Mike, have you seen any of the Name of the King movies?
No, but I do know that the first one was an Uwe Boll film.
Okay.
As in movement?
Bow as if in movement is a great band name. Go ahead.
So wait, Kelly, why do you have the sunglasses on?
Because I'm Kelly Cool.
He's Kelly Cool.
I'm cool. Doesn't work?
I buy it.
See? Tony bought it.
It's working for me right now, but Kelly's having a hard time seeing his own screen.
Yeah, so I'm going to probably be losing him and start getting significantly less cool.
So, do we have any updates on Snark Stock, Mr. Kelly?
Nah, not for public consumption. There may be some updates, but we'll handle that off the show if that's all right.
Oh, okay, that's cool. And so on Sunday, Dylan knows something. We don't know what he knows, but he knows something, and it's probably going to start on time or late, as usual. So, Dylan, what are you talking about this week?
It's comics this week with MJ Con.
Comics with just MJ?
MJ Con. Yeah, we were supposed to have a guest on, but unfortunately she has been unable to make it due to house moving responsibilities that are taking longer than she thought it would. So, just gonna be me and MJ. We should have a good show going on.
It's like a big, strong lady. She's a house mover. Just picks the thing up and excellent. Good for her. Hey, don't you dedicate Dylan Knows Comics to just the upcoming Alice Cooper comic, like from here on out? Should be the only thing you talk about?
I absolutely can. I will mention it.
Time out. There's an Alice Cooper comic that I'm not familiar with? What's going on here, Kelly? Fill me in.
It's coming out. So Mike probably could have filled you in if he was a real Alice Cooper fan, but he's not. So allow me to update you that there is an Alice Cooper comic coming out. It'll be released, I believe, in September, and it's based on Alice Cooper, the Nightmare Keeper, and he loses his powers, and now he's fighting to get them back. So it's kind of rocker by night and mystical demon by day. So
You should really write the descriptions on the back. Alice Cooper comic based on Alice Cooper.
So it's like the movie Trick or Treat from 1986.
probably, but
Love
cooler because it's got Alice Cooper in it.
Gene
He might wear
Simmons
glasses
plays
like
the
this.
DJ. Am I the only person that knows this movie?
No, I love that movie.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
If Alice Cooper with was the Tidy Bowl Man, diarrhea would be cool with Kelly. I'm guessing.
I gotta
But
work the math on that one, but I think the answer is yes. I have to think about it.
I'm pretty sure. And the last bit, we are going to be tweaking the Snark Alec radio show a little bit. And details will follow once we figure out what tweaks we're going to make. But we have some stuff that we're going to change a little bit. You're going to like it, people. You're going to like it. And
Can I just give a little spoiler on that? Kelly's gonna start doing every show with a French accent. That's all I'm gonna say. Will there be a maid costume? Tune in.
And a beret. And that's all I have for the
I'm really
news.
excited for the new upcoming Snark Alex now. I'm engaged. Like French accents, berets. It's going continental breakfast. I'm excited.
We're really classy.
Hey, better than Night Train Effect. That's all I gotta say.
And with that, I have no more news, but Mike wants to make a special announcement. So, Mike, take it away, man.
Okay, so I do have a little bit of news to share. Unfortunately, it's not the news that Tony guessed earlier. Tony Solo, that is. Tony, do you want to share with them what your guess was?
Okay, you're going to make me say it. Okay.
Yes.
Mike was going to make me guess what his special announcement was. So through text, I said, okay, so you finally got the okay to have the gender re-identification surgery, and you and Kelly were going to live as lesbian lovers from here on out.
Oh my God! I guessed the same freaking thing. That's amazing.
It's been nice to have you on the show, Tony. So, see ya.
Which one?
Both. D-Tony.
Now, do you notice, though, that he only said I was getting gender reassignment?
Okay, wait, hold on.
But
I started blocking.
we're both women, but only I'm getting the gender reassignment. I think he's judging your name.
I got the whole lesbian lover thing that kind of threw me, but
Okay, my first guess would have been you and Kelly both got the okay to have the sex reassignment surgery, and you were going to be living together as lesbian lovers. That was a text I actually did send to Mike today.
wow, I feel a lot better now. Thanks.
That's actually not,
quite a relief.
believe it or not, that is not the news announcement, though it could be. Kelly? Huh?
No, why don't you go with your real news announcement there, Mike?
All right, we'll do that one for now, but after the show we'll talk. It's the Aviators; they're doing it for me. The real news announcement is that my friend Vex, who is the singer of the band Starscream, is leaving his current radio show to join Loud and Loaded with his own show.
And what does that mean for us, Mike?
What does that mean for you? Well, not only will Vex's fans be crossing over to Loud and Loaded, but he'll be intermingling with all the Snark Alex and everyone else on Loud and Loaded. But not Kelly. He's mine. Keep your hands off.
So I'd like to explore a little bit the Live 365 salary cap, just to understand how it's awesome to have Vex join us, but how's that going to work? Are you gonna be able to pay the luxury tax and keep Tony at these high salaries are now? Are we going to have to renegotiate as LeBron Vex comes in here? How's this work?
Kelly, I'm pretty sure that I doubled your salary just a few months ago. Now we're already talking raise again.
That was the multiplier, yeah.
Yes, that was the multiplier, but 0 times 17 still
Is this like when Bret Hart came to WCW that there was a Foreign Nations contract where like Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hulk Hogan all made what Bret Hart made under the same umbrella? Is that what you guys are shooting for? I'm just trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I'd be happy. I'd be happy with anything bigger than 0 at this point in time.
At this point, we'd like to make Sheamus money. If you want to talk WWE type.
The Night Train Effect would be happy with laid off Rey Mysterio money. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay, so who's Virgil? We'd be happy with Virgil setting his table up 2 blocks away from the convention and signing autographs type money. That's the type of money that we'd be happy with here on SnarkAlec Radio. And if you don't know about Virgil and you don't know what we're talking about,
If you don't know about Virgil, you need to do a Google search right now. Virgil's the man.
And so I guess with that, we can take a quick break and then we'll get into the stuff that we're going to talk about. We're live first, Mike. Kelly?
Yep, that sounds good, and we will get to Werealive when we come back. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel without a salary cap, and we'll be right back.
Salary cap. Ooh, yeah.
Salary cap free. Anyway, we're back on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. We've got Dylan, Tony, Mike, Tony. Get everybody. And Cool Kelly. Anyway, so moving along, we're going to talk a little bit about Werealive. So, kind of check here. Dylan, are you keeping up? Where are you at? Dawn's listening to Werealive. I don't see you tweet much about it. Are you into it or not?
I haven't heard anything on it. I haven't done it. I haven't heard it. Haven't done a thing about it.
Okay,
It's all done.
spoilers, be ready, man, because we're going to be talking about what's happened at the very end.
That's fine.
Tony V, have you ever listened to the Werealive Zombie podcast?
No.
Why not?
I'm unfamiliar with it, although I believe you guys brought up the last time I was on, and I did check it out, and I was so far behind on it that I just decided to write it off, and I apologize for that. Had I known that there was going to be homework involved, I would have prepared, but I am unfamiliar with it. I do know there's an extensive library out there on the internet for people to go check out, and I do suggest you check it out.
Well, so what we're going to suggest right now is that you get caught up because, as Mr. Toole learned early on, is that it really sucks when you have to wait for it, and we have to wait a month for the finale. But yes, we have to wait for a freaking month. But we'll get into that. But when you can go, the episodes are only about 20 minutes long. And there's 3 episodes to a chapter. There's 48 chapters total. We've gone through 47 chapters, and 48 is going to be released at the end of July, but we'll get into that. But it's really good. And, you know, if you've got some downtime and you got an iPod or any kind of device like a phone that you can listen to podcasts on, I would highly suggest it. So, Kel, where are you at with the final episode?
So, I mean, I was interested. I was looking forward to talking about this tonight because I want to find where the highly frugal Tony Solo is at on this, because what's happening, Dylan, Mike, and Tony, on this this deal on Werealive is the last episode's coming up. Rather than breaking into 3 parts like they usually do, it's just one, and they're gonna do it live on, is it Monday?
They're doing it live, I believe, on the 19th. But on Monday, what they're doing is they're doing a stream test. So they're going to stream Chapter 47, and then when they do the actual finale, they're going to do a live performance of Chapter 47, and then they're going to cut the stream, and only the people that are in the audience in Los Angeles will get to have the finale. They are going to do I guess they're going to do Chapter 47 intermission and then Chapter 48 in total.
And then, like, the next day they offer it up on their site for like $5 or something.
$5 with some music and stuff. But I was thinking about paying the $5. However, I figure most of our audience wouldn't be up for that. And people would just wait until the 29th when it was going to be released. for everybody. So I figured I'd just wait till then. So, but a lot of people were complaining to Casey Whalen about it. And the way I look at it, we'd be in the 2-week hiatus now, right? So
Yeah.
that's 2 weeks. So then around the 14th would be when the first part of the chapter came out. 21st would be the second part of the chapter, and then the finale would actually come out on the 29th. So, and it's going to be one big lump. So it's it's a wash. You end up getting it at the same time, just about. It just sucks that we have to wait for the end. But
and I'm looking forward to it because they built this. They got everything built up for us pretty well. A good friend has returned to the fold.
Scratch, yes.
So yeah, Scratch is back and doesn't look too promising for the folks in Dunbar right now. So we'll see how that all works out. But yeah, I got pissy about $2.99 for Troll 2.
Okay.
And
Troll
I think
2 is a
actually
classic.
I don't know how you keep selling the name of Troll 2.
$2.99 would because I believe you pointed out to me there's a thing called the internet that would have allowed me to
Let's not talk about how I told you to obtain this movie originally. I don't want my name tied up with piracy. I'm just putting that out there. But I will say this: let's not I've had a change of heart with Troll 2 lately. Let's not sully the name of Troll 2.
I'm going to agree with you because it's one of those movies where I still have it on my DVR and I still watch it on occasion.
It's
However,
fantastic.
Kelly, for his $2.99, he got to see the unedited version, so he got to see live boobies and he got to see everything.
Kelly, did it make sense at $2.99?
No. It did not.
I'm just making sure.
What even made worse sense? I had to pay $2.99 twice because then I watched it and it took us forever before we talked about it, and then I had to watch it again, and so I had to pay it again.
And you're not on drugs, right?
No, I'm not. I'm just stupid.
Okay.
You had to think about that for a second, though. That wasn't a quick no. That was a wait. What? Are you a cop? That's what was. I could see the wheel turning. Like, no, he's not a cop. I know he's not a cop.
Anyway, so but being the rocket scientist that I am, not a cop but a rocket scientist, I paid twice for this thing, and I didn't bother to do what Tony just mentioned: is hit bing on my DVR so that I'd have it whenever I wanted to for free. So there's that. Dylan, have you seen this fine movie Treasure
on the market?
I have not.
Oh my gosh. It's
okay. We need to
$2.99.
Okay, we need to have a Snark Alec viewing party of this somehow or other.
Yeah,
it's going to be coming on again soon on free cable, I'm sure, and we've got to do it. And I wonder if we could actually do a hangout while there's a movie playing. That's something to think about. We'll talk about it after the show.
Interesting.
But spoiler alert. So the interesting thing about this show, Tony, as opposed to certain other zombie movies, is these zombies are evolving.
Oh, so they learn things. Do they learn things? Like, do they know how to use tools?
Well, even better than that, the head zombie is kind of like a genetic genius, and he is manufacturing special purpose zombies. There's zombies that can jump. They call them, hey, jumpers. There's some that have like these nasty teeth. They call them biters.
Nasty teethers.
Right. Well, then they have these things that they call behemoths that are like, 7 football players put together that they could just run into a concrete wall 5 times and smash it through.
So these zombies beat any zombies that are currently on a WIC or food stamps program.
They would eat every zombie on a WIC or food stamp program and still be hungry when they're done.
Oh my God, I am intrigued.
So the nice thing about it, and the thing that Kelly loves about it, is that it's free. So
I like the free thing, but you said there was a charge earlier.
Well, what they want you to do is if you want to get the finale prior to the 29th because they're going to release it for $5 the day after the live performance. You can pay $5 and get it the day after the live performance.
That's pretty cool. Good on them.
But if you don't want to wait, if you want to wait, you can wait until the 29th and get it for free. And Casey Whalen, who is one of the creators, the writer, director, and the interesting thing about the Werealive podcast, it's part of the Nerdist Podcast Network now. So they got some good funding, and you can definitely hear the quality of the audio and the quality of the sound effects and all that other stuff really went up in this last season since they got on. And Casey Whalen has been alluding to doing some new projects in the future. So, and he's being a little cagey about it, but he will be on SnarkAlec Radio because he's been on before, and he and has affirmed to come back on when this is all done. So we're probably going to get him mid-August because after this is done, he goes to Comic-Con, and we'll get him.
Very cool. Hey, just a real quick break. I got to come in to kind of clear some things up on Twitter. John McGevna, who asked the question, who gets to keep the beard after the gender re-identification thing between Mike and I? That's not a good question, Mike, because I'm not going to have one, so it's really up to Mike in terms of what he wants to do. Also, additional boos to Dylan and Jen for retweeting that question. And then Laura is asking if I'm jealous because Tony Viejo's sitting close to my man. So allow me to clarify up. He's not my man. And no, I'm absolutely fine.
Of course
with
I'm
it.
not your man if I'm having gender reassignment surgery.
No.
That's very true. This is very true.
But
Yeah.
it's
You
irrelevant.
love Mike for what he could be. I
Huddle
love Mike
away,
for what
boys.
he is.
Good.
See?
I wish you all the luck in the world. Please.
Okay.
But see,
And
he's going through the gender reassignment surgery for you, not for me. These are the problems that we have. This is kind of why I'm here.
This is first world.
Actually, I've just been drinking way too much Fireball tonight, and Mike was like, "Hey, you want to come on a radio show?" And I was like, "Sure," but that's neither here nor there.
So
Really what it comes down to is, Kelly, do you want me to keep the beard?
Victory Brewing Company.
Storm
I
King.
don't care. I don't care. What's Storm King?
Storm King, because we're having a fucking hurricane, dude.
Oh, all right.
That's
what
why
you
I was
have to-
held up at the casino drinking Fireball shots of whiskey while playing Spanish 21.
Why isn't that called Dos Uno?
Bente uno.
Thank you. Because it's white people gambling in Ben Salem is why you use your answer.
There you go.
And,
That
yeah.
makes sense.
At Parks.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never been there. I'm not a white person.
Or Asian, for that matter, I might want to point out. There's a lot of those there. But if you have yellow fever, check out Parks Casino. You can pick one up really cheap. Not that I know.
Okay.
Kinda
So
not.
anyway, we're live.
Had a penis, that's all I'm saying.
We've got a two-front war going on. We've got the dudes out there in the tunnels fighting the zombies with a remote and some explosives, and we've got Scratch showing up back at Dunbar, and you knew that was going to happen. You knew Scratch was going to show up.
Absolutely.
So where do you think this is going, Cal?
Well, I'm going to stick with my long-standing predictions, which is
Everybody's
carnage
dead.
galore. Everybody's dead by the time this thing is over. So I think Scratch is going to be very successful in her attack on Dunbar and kill pretty much everybody there, and I think it is not going to go well for Michael and crew.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not caught up on the show yet. And I think I said this before when Kelly and I were talking about Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
In my opinion, every show should end with everyone dying.
well, you see, the only problem with that is with everybody dying is you can never bring them back. But I mean, as we learned this week with Better Call Saul, it is not going to be set in any certain time. There's going to be flashbacks and stuff. So we're going to see maybe the whole cast from Breaking Bad at points in Better Call Saul. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm too. I'm actually gonna start watching that when it comes on next year. Because when I read that article, I thought that was just one of the most genius ways of doing a show is setting different story arcs at different time periods. That's what I gathered from it, that they're doing different story arcs in different time periods during Saul's career. So you have future stories, stuff during the Walter White era, and then before Walter. So.
Which now, because I'm a huge Saul Goodman fan, but I was just a little skeptical on how you could pull an hour-long show out of just Saul, because it just he's a good moment in a show, but I didn't know about like a full hour of it. But now, when you can kind of do the before Walter White, during Walter White, and post Walter White kind of Saul combinations, it gets pretty exciting, because I think you could do. I mean, it could be really, really fun, and it also appears Vince Gilligan's getting more and more involved with it, which is a good sign. Did you do that? Hey, you know what? We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I think we're going to talk a little bit about Defiance. Although be sure to watch Better Call Saul. We'll be right back. Listen to Snark Alec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. And we're back. It's Dylan, Tony, Mike, Tony, Kelly Cool, and we're here to talk about Defiance next.
Defiance. But before we talk about Defiance, one thing that we didn't talk about in the news was Boo of the Week. Did you have one?
Oh, I did, as a matter of fact. And this is Boo of the Week classic, in that, typically Boo Week was born of when we have, we finally had a bad sci-fi movie on. And typically I get booed fairly heavily through there, and then other folks do too. So basically, Boo of the Week goes to the worst pun during a sci-fi movie when someone puts some top spin on it. And the winner's Helena McGevna, and I'm just trying to pull up her tweet, because Helena gave me a boo. Not only did she boo me, here you go. It was in response to things look. They were in a graveyard, and so I tweeted out "Things look grave," which that's the kind of pun you do that deserves a boo. So Helena McGevna booed that and tacked onto it, "You're horrible." And so it's the fact, and I think she really meant it. And so I had to give her Boo of the Week for calling me horrible. So congratulations, Helena.
Okay,
As a comedian, puns are bad. Just putting that out there. Just puns are bad. Just done.
Okay. Well, so Cal, you're going to ask me if I have a Boo of the Week?
I didn't really plan on. No. Tony, do you have a Boo of the Week?
No, I don't. Do you want to know why, Kelly?
Why?
Oh, no.
Because people are refusing to boo me. And there are certain people who are going to remain nameless, Dawn, who have been withholding boos because I have been...
Dylan, does Dawn ever withhold boos from you?
Not from me, not at all. She boos me whenever I want to.
Even when you're in trouble? Come on, lady. No boos for you tonight?
And I understand in comedy that puns are bad, Tony, but when you throw out something so bad, it's funny. It ends up being funny.
I mean, they work, yes, and they're fun, but if you throw out a bad pun and someone calls you out on it, you shouldn't be like, "Oh, boo that person."
No. We want to be called out, though. That's the idea. That's what the boo
okay.
is.
My bad.
No, we are.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't understand the concept of this game. My bad.
Yeah. So,
Then I digress. Then I take back everything I said. Good job, Kelly.
So quick setup.
I feel so validated now. I'm good. Thanks.
Quick setup. Dawn and I were having a conversation with Casey Whalen, and Casey was throwing out that things might be happening, and Dawn said, "Do tell," and I said, "Oh no, don't tell. Save it for Snark Alec Radio, because I'd like a freaking exclusive from this guy about what his future projects are. That's not out of bounds for me to ask." And Dawn got a little bit hissy with me, so I said, "Well, I hope you die in a pillow factory," and then we would call it Dawn Syndrome, which I thought was really... But it's a written pun, so it had to be Dawn, Sin, S-I-N, Drome. So it was Dawn Syndrome instead of Down Syndrome. She died in a pillow factory. Okay? Boo me now.
You know,
Boo
typically
me
Down
now.
syndrome is comedy gold. You know, I got
So-
you got a whole set on Down syndrome, don't you, Tony?
I
No.
checks happy is all I have to say about that.
So anyway, she refused to
You ever
boom.
see someone with Down syndrome pick up a box of checks and see how happy they are? You will never be that happy at any moment in your life. No matter how happy that person is right there grabbing that box of checks, no drug, no sexual experience, no paycheck will make you as happy as someone with Down syndrome with some weird celiac disease having a box of checks. That will make them the most happiest person in the world, and there's nothing you can do to compare upon that, and I hate that. Fuck 'em.
So,
I
having
didn't
said
expect
that,
that finish. That was okay. And I hate that.
having said that, I'm gonna end this little my little tirade, my little rant with
That was good.
um.
But Twitter's saying your hair looks just awesome tonight, Tony. So
Yeah.
you know,
Thank
if that makes you feel better.
Anyway, something because Patrick, another person who refuses to boo me,
I don't understand why all these people are leaving you with boo balls, Kelly. Oh, I'm sorry,
no,
Tony.
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 Because
At one
listen,
point, right when it's
you're
on.
either gonna boo me or you're not gonna boo me. You know, don't tell me that something I tweeted out was almost booable, because
No, I would have booed all over you.
from thanks, Mike.
We would have
And
booed all over your glasses, all over your chin, your hair. We would have booed all over the place.
Well, in the words of Master Yoda,
Friggin' Jack.
in the words of Master Yoda, you boo or you boo not. There is no try. So, that's all I have to say on that subject. But we want to get into Defiance. Defiance!
Woo!
Woohoo! So, how many people on the show watched Defiance?
I
Tonight.
I
do.
have played the video
That's all.
game.
You
Oh,
have
yeah.
played. Oh, okay. That's something that we're going to want to definitely get into. But
I haven't played it a lot. I've played it like 2 or 3 times, so don't get it twisted. I'm not like schooled in it, but I've seen like 3 episodes and I've played the video game. I am not ready to talk about this at all.
Okay. Well, were you playing it when you had to pay to play, or are you playing it now that it's free to play but pay to win? I'm guessing.
Is Defiance the same as Defiance Fall of Man?
I don't think
Yes.
so. Is it?
Or no,
it's not.
Okay,
It's
then I have
Defiance-
not played the video game. Because as soon as you said pay to play or this, I was like, it came with the PS3, right?
Yeah, no. This was something that was released last year.
No, but I didn't
Prior
play that
to
game.
yeah.
I have seen a few episodes of that TV show. It's on TBS or TNT, right?
No, it's on Sci-Fi.
My bad.
But you were
No
naming
homework.
television stations, which I think
Yes.
is strong. That's solid.
Yes, and you were in the T's, which is closest to
Good.
S.
Alphabetically close.
Yes.
I, it's not on ABC or CBS, so it was a
It's
given.
not. It's not on a major network.
I hate those early alphabet networks.
I got
Oh,
rid of the Braves games.
Well, okay. So was NBC an early alphabet network? There, Kel?
they're a mid, but they're a poser. They're early alphabet playing late. They're playing late alphabet.
So.
Calling NBC a poser, that's great.
I just stick with MTV because that's where Teen Wolf is. Don't you judge me.
You won't, because there's a
I
lot
would like
of
to point out I am judging the fuck out of Michael right now. That's it. Sorry.
I can see the judgment behind Kelly's glasses, and I don't care.
so
Yeah.
yeah, well, Lee says that she could see her pretty self in Kelly's glasses. They're so shiny. So Dylan, where were you on Defiance?
Oh, I'm caught up. I've seen all 3 episodes this season.
Personal opinion.
Just like last season, it's starting slow for me. Last year, I don't know if you guys remember, I was not angry, but I disliked the pilot immensely, and I think a lot of other people liked it a lot more than I did. But gradually, it gained its traction. It got itself in a good place, and it became an excellent series. And then I was like, okay, I can't wait to see what happens. And the first 2 episodes came out, And I was like, you know what? It's starting slow again for me. I'm not enjoying this that much. And then tonight's episode, I was actually blown away by this episode. I really enjoyed this one today. What say you guys?
If I ever recall, you didn't like that opening song in the pilot, right?
Yeah.
Which makes you a horrible person, by the
Yeah.
way. But anyway, I just wanted to clarify that.
Okay.
Just a horrible person.
Amongst other things.
Yeah, but that in and of itself makes you a horrible person. But we digress. Yes, I think the business picked up this episode. Horrible person, Dylan. So yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I don't know if we want to kind of chunk it up a little bit and talk about the beginning, middle, end, or because the last 10 minutes things got interesting.
It sure did. But I got a question for Dylan. Did you watch any of the webisodes before the season started?
I'm technologically stupid, so no, I haven't. I don't even know where are they on the website.
So Dylan, when you say that, I'm going to point out how technologically stupid you are. Sci-fi.com, you look for Defiance, and you look for the webisodes. There was like 5 of them. They were a couple of minutes long, and it was basically Nolan searching for Arissa. And it actually led right into the first episode. But, I mean, it you know, you didn't have to be a whiz kid. My daughter found them, and she's 10.
Which was the awesome thing, though, is that Arissa was wearing the Where is Waldo hat and shirt the whole time Nolan was looking for, which was really
yeah,
cool.
and you couldn't find her at all. But, I mean, that did bridge a little bit of it. The one quibble, if I had any, and I voiced it online, and I'll voice it now, was whatever is going on with Urzu and Arissa, they have to start letting us know, or else I'm going to get pissed off, because, come on, don't drag it out like they seem to want to drag out everything on the show. But tonight they started giving us answers halfway through the episode, what the hell is going on, and I was watching it with my daughter, which she's 16, very uncomfortable sometimes. Tony, there's one character, Daytak Tar, who was in prison. He's not in prison anymore. And he almost got 2 hand jobs in the first episode.
Nice!
Which was
And you're watching this with your 16-year-old daughter?
No, I didn't watch these, see, because the first 2 episodes I DVR'd, and I watched by myself. But my daughter's watching the show.
Repeatedly, like about 10 times.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
How do you almost get 2 hand jobs?
Well,
Isn't the show Oz?
if you're in prison and somebody sticks their hands through the bars and starts you off, but never finishes you off, that's
So
how
wait,
you
isn't that
almost...
still a hand job, though?
No, as I said,
Well,
if you don't finish, it doesn't count as a hand job. There's rules to a hand job. Just because someone grabs your dick and starts jerking it off doesn't constitute a hand job. You have to finish. That's the hand job. Hence the name, hand job. Like, if, for example, a girl starts stroking you and then finishes with her mouth, that's called a blow job. Now, if she starts stroking you off...
See, I disagree with this. It's a hand job's a hand job. Dylan, what do you think?
So parents, this might be the time that you regretted removing your children from the room for our Snark Alec Radio listeners with children. So
I just want to point out, Tony's topic, Tony Solo.
I have to agree with Tony Viejo, because I think it's not considered a complete job until someone finishes. That's what I think. I agree with that.
Which
I
means
like you
that
for a
Dylan
reason.
agrees with me, because he almost got 2 hand jobs.
Yeah, the first
Not
one,
completed.
the man stopped him. His wife was given to him through the bars, and the jailer said, "No, we're not going to have that," and then bam, knocked him away.
No fun in jail.
Yeah. If you don't have to clean up a mess, it wasn't a hand job. Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
Yeah. If you're not cleaning
Zombie
up, it
Wells would
wasn't.
agree with us.
Kelly,
No
I feel
fun.
like the show has really gotten away from us.
I'm allowing, you guys can work on the finer points of what is and not there, but No Fun in Jail is a great band name. That's all.
I'm debating this.
All right, Kelly, where do you stand on hand jobs? We've heard everyone else on this.
That's right. Haven't heard from me, have you? That's
So
a
where
trend
do you
that's gonna
stand on this
continue on this topic. I have nothing to say on the said topic.
It's a simple. If it's not a controversial topic. Anyone above 6th grade knows. All I'm asking is it a hand job from start to finish, or is it a hand job because the hand is honest? I'm saying hand job start to finish. Dylan agrees with me, and I think Solo agrees with me too. Where do you stand, Kelly? I forget where Mike stands, but that's not important because I'll figure that out later when he does one for me. But Kelly, cool. Where do you stand on this issue? Is what the Snark Alec fans, the Night Train Effect fans, and the Loud and Loaded listeners want to know is where Kelly Cool Tool stands on hand jobs.
Are we ready for a break?
Actually, we're 1 minute away. And now, meanwhile, we're talking about Defiance, people. This is Defiance on the Snark Alec Radio.
Yeah, this is Defiance talk. Kelly, you're one of the big Defiance fans on the show.
Right.
It seems...
Hand jobs are almost...
What was it? Was there someone on the grassy knoll or not?
So I saw the cast of Defiance at a con here recently, and they mentioned this before any of the stuff aired, and they mentioned that, oh yeah, and Datek's going to get a hand. They mentioned it from the stage. So my assumption at that point in time was that he was going to chop somebody's hand off. So imagine my surprise. So I would have to say, based on what the cast said, that what Datek received was a hand job. Yes.
So even though they didn't finish, it was still a hand job. So Kelly and I are on the same page on hand jobs. Good to know.
Well, to tell you the truth, the second time he may have finished. The second time he may have finished. The first time he definitely did not because there was coitus interruptus or jercus interruptus that happened.
The second time was...
So wait, how do you know he finished the first time? It's on Sci-Fi.
No. The first time.
I just want to ask a question. Edging, the technique of edging is involved in Sci-Fi.
Well, basically, they were interrupted by a prison guard the first time.
Okay,
And
so
then the second time, it was he forced Dr. Yule to do it, and she's like, I'm not going to do that, and just whipped it up.
Well, she said something.
2 seconds.
Oh, is there a swelling here? And then she says, oh, no, you're good. She said, oh, no, you're good. So he may have finished the second time.
I just thought that was because she said, oh, because I'm the doctor, you're checking me, and okay, I checked out, you're fine, I'm taking my hand away. That's what I gathered from it. I didn't think that he finished, but...
No,
Kelly?
I think they may have actually been alluding to him having finished, but anyway, this is the Snark Alec Radio Show on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel, and we'll be right back after this break, and we're going to actually talk about Defiance maybe when we come back.
Sorry.
Bring us back, Dylan.
Hello, welcome back to Snark Alec Radio. This is Snark Alec Radio on Live 365 Loud and Loaded channel. I am Dylan. With me, as always, is Kelly and Tony and Mike. Now we're talking Defiance. Are we going to talk tonight's episode, or do you want to hit some of the stuff from the other two? Because I don't think we've actually talked about it.
The earlier episodes at this point.
Well, we can bring it all into we've done the earlier episodes because the highlights were basically hand jobs.
Great show.
But
fantastic. It's like Oz.
What's amazing here is that I have never seen Defiance, and I'm formulating this entire series in my head, and I have a feeling it is nothing like the actual show.
Well,
It
if
sounds like a bunch of people define
Mike,
hand jobs. What it sounds
Mike,
like.
to tell you the truth, in every episode there usually is at least one bath scene with Jamie Murray, and she's wearing practically postage stamps. So, it's
This one was freaking intense, man. The one in this episode tonight.
Is this show hotter than the show Lex?
I've never seen Lex, although we do have Lex fans, and if you want to start talking Lex, you're going to make Jan have a heart attack.
Yeah, well, so we should
I don't want to start talking it. I just remember Lex having a very hot cast, and I was very into it, and I was very young at the time. Jen, don't get excited. I know nothing about the show. From what I remember, I just remember a lot of attractive females and a bottle of baby oil. Anywho, go back to Defiance.
Well, Tony, one of the things that occurs in Defiance, one of the main areas, is there's actually like a bar/prostitute house. So there's a bit more sexy
Why
prostitutes.
am I not watching this show? This show sounds amazing.
Yeah, there's moments.
Yeah, it does definitely has its moments. There's
I'm gonna
the
go
need
download this
want.
right now when I get home. I'm not lying. I'm gonna go on Kick-Ass
There
Tours
was
and download the show.
diaper sex in the first season. So there
Yeah,
you
there
go.
was diaper sex. I believe. Well, you see, you have to have Amazon Prime to see the first season, but the second season, I'm sure Sci-Fi puts it out on demand for free. But like I said, bath scene, Jamie Murray, um, you can't go wrong. But what they've been doing is they've been having Arissa kill people. She's killed people randomly in the first 2 episodes. And I was actually talking to Holly Wilson, hey Hols, saying that, hey, if they don't start telling us what the hell is going on soon, people are really going to start bailing on the show because at times they've really liked
Wait,
to.
is this the same Jamie Murray from Fright Night Part 2?
I don't know, but she was on another sci-fi show.
Warehouse 13. Yeah.
You know what? I don't think it is because she's in her early 30s maybe. So Fright Night 2 was back in the
I did a quick
80s.
Google
Right?
search. This is Fright Night 2: The New Blood. My bad, which was not in correlation to the original Fright Night franchise. But
Oh.
I am looking at a
okay.
picture of her on a Google search, and she is fucking slamming. And I am going to check out the finds.
Yep. She's actually, I think, about 70, but a hot 70. But
Is there any other kind of 70?
that's right. Yeah, there's Betty White 70,
she's
which
hot
is like
80.
ridiculously ugly and stupid.
But Kelly's not into Betty White, so.
At all, like zero.
Mike,
Yes.
if you can get close to your computer, I am going to shoot you a link to show Tony because this is Jamie
Oh no,
Murray.
he Googled her.
Well, this is the picture he's got to look at, though.
In the biblical sense.
Well, this is the one he's got to look at because this is her as Stama in her.
He Googled her so hard.
Yo, I will Google you in the
He
biblical sense.
Googled until he booed.
Can't hear you, Tony. So anyway, yeah, that's the picture he's got to look at. If anything's going to sway him.
Yeah, there's always a little bit of something going on.
But I mean, they started to progress the story, and when they had Arissa kill Birdie tonight, and Sukar again, every time Sukar comes back,
you can't catch a break.
they fucking kill the dude, which is hysterical.
But much like Michael Myers, he keeps coming back.
Yeah, let's not say the name of Michael Myers in this place.
Yeah, can we talk about the ending when we get there? Because I had a few questions about the ending, but when we get
Well,
there,
so
there's a few
before we
things.
get to the ending, so let's talk a little bit about this
At the
Arissa.
beginning, that's a good idea.
Because we talked a little bit because we had Arissa killing Birdie, taking off, trying to kill herself, what I thought successfully, not so successfully. That all went through. But now she throws up metal snakes. This is the part? There's a couple things in there because at the end that was not Arissa at the end of the show either, right?
That was my question. Who was that at the end? That wasn't Arissa because she was passed out at in her apartment.
First of all, the things that's coming out of her mouth is the thing that's in her that we saw at the end of last season. Okay, so those gold and silver wires are what's in her.
So she's launching off a little mini wire.
Right, she's infecting them, she's zombifying them. But my idea is that what is happening is Birdie came back because she keeps on having visions of that spaceship, and when you look around, there's things in those glassy round pods that are all over the place. And I think what's happening is that she's taking their DNA and killing them or doing something along those lines, but everything is being transferred to the ship and they're being reborn. Okay.
Or maybe that's an idea, or maybe they're switching. Maybe the.
Well, it's almost like bean pods. Okay, you go to sleep, you wake up, and the aliens have just taken over.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what my idea is. Except it actually is the person, but they come back better infected. And one of the people that came back and is in defiance, and this is why I think that, was the Castigan girl that has the red mohawk. Okay, that she killed when Nolan found her.
In the first season, or the first episode,
first
first
episode.
episode this season, yeah.
So she's there in defiance. Okay, so how did she get to Defiance? She didn't come follow Orissa. Okay, so she's alive. At the end, we see Sukar again. He's alive.
Mm-hmm. He's
we
looking
see
good.
Birdie. Okay, yeah. So he's died 3 or 4 times, and he's come back every time. So I think that's where it's going. And when she says we're preserving them or we're saving them, is because they're being transferred over here. And guess what? Now I think Birdie can be killed 2 million times, and every time she gets killed, she can come back. And if she's got that thing in her, every time she dies, like the memories and everything get transferred. But
no one will know. Yeah, no one will know anything's wrong because she understands everything. She has all the memories, so no one's going to understand till it's too late. As we saw, the one with the I guess that was the chick with the mohawk then at the end who attacked that little kid. So
right,
and infected them.
Oh.
Right. So that goes to show you that because they actually showed Orissa, they showed what she was doing because you first thought she was like a vampire or like a zombie. She was eating them and stuff because there was always blood around her mouth after she killed them. Then with the Sukar death, you see the stuff coming out of her mouth going into Sukar. And then they showed you that Mohawk chick doing the same thing that Orissa did. Because they didn't show you how she killed Birdie. She had a vision, and when she came out of the vision, Birdie was there and dead. So they're throwing the hints out there. And I've always said this before, Defiance is one of those shows, just like The Walking Dead, where there's not a lot of hidden stuff. They put everything out there, and they tell the story. So I think, they're going to tell us what's going on, but I think that's what's happening.
And it makes a lot of sense now. Now that the way you described it, Tony, that actually makes a hell of a lot of sense now. And that actually leads to where this season could end up eventually be going. Because first of all, most people thought, okay, this season might be going to Defiance getting back their town against the Earth Republic, but now there's going to be this threat of an alien invasion possibly that something's going to have to happen. So that's
as long as they get that frickin' radio station out of the arch, I'll be fine. That's all I want.
You want to know something? That chick in the radio station at the beginning of the episode, dude, come on.
Thumbs up. She's in the most stupid place in the world to be on a radio station, but she was an attractive lady. I will give you that. Absolutely.
She likes the rough stuff. Slap me around.
So that would be, yeah. So that was fun. And then of course at the end, Daytak comes home.
Well, right before that, you've got Stama saying, "Hey, we want to keep him in jail forever."
Yeah, he's never coming home. And he shows up and basically almost kills her. I don't think it's going to be a great next couple episodes for Stama. I think Daytak's going to make things a little difficult for people.
Well, I don't know. I think what's going to happen is there might be actually a split in power, and Daytak, just as long as he's there, might be okay with it, because he's going to be working solely keeping somebody alive.
Yep.
Is what his job is going to be. And we know the mayor, the only reason he's cracking down on the Blue Devil is because he fancies Amanda. He fancies her.
I love that line. I love that line Nolan said. I never went to high school. But I imagine it's exactly like this.
That was perfectly executed. The whole thing, the delivery, that was great. I enjoyed that quite a bit too. Cool. Well, yeah, it's fun. So I think, and so Tony, is our plan for at least while Defiance is running, we'll start SnarkAlec Radio a little, maybe not 20 minutes later, but a little bit later to let you and I get through Defiance and jump on, or
It all depends on what's going on. But if we can get this down where Mike can get his invitations on time, what I did was I set everything up before Defiance started. And all I had to do was come in here and send out the invites and crank up the satellites and stuff. So, I mean, everybody was here except for Mike at 10 after 9. And
we waited, and we waited, and we waited.
I still have never received the invite.
Yeah, I sent.
Yet you're here. As if by magic.
Kelly, the universe just wants us to be together once a week. I mean, other than the numerous texts that he sends me, which you can clearly see on my phone.
Actually, you know what I'm going to do right now? I'm going to send Kelly a text because I actually have Kelly's phone number, and I can do that.
Yeah. Unlike some people, Mike. And Tony, if he ever gets my number.
We're talking about sci-fi, and I'm a fan of horror. Can I merge the two real quick? Can we do that?
Actually, why not? Because they are hand in hand.
All right. Have any of you guys seen the Phantasm 5 Ravager trailer?
No.
I have.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. So we could save that for after the show, but because there's a couple of things we got to talk about after the show anyway. But at this point, guess what?
We're going to take a break. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. And we'll be right back. Hey, everybody. It's Kelly Cool. You're listening to SnarkAlec Radio, Live 365's Loud and Load channel. I'm here with Mike, not as cool as Kelly Cool. Tony, as cool as Kelly Cool. Dylan, as cool as Kelly Cool. Tony, I don't know. Eggs for booze. Kind of think that's a little unbecoming. But we're all here, and we're here to talk about...
Wait, hold on. I'm not begging for booze.
You are. You were begging for booze.
I was just pointing out that people...
You are on the street corner saying, hey, mister. You know.
I got one guy saying, I almost booed you for that. Well, then, if you almost booed me and you didn't, then don't tell me...
Now, is almost getting booed like sort of getting half a hand job?
Well, let's put it this way. I had this other person in another conversation, who shall remain nameless, Dawn, said that my tweets were too clever and genius to be booed. And I was like, okay, maybe one or two of them were really good, but the rest of them were really bad, and you're not booing me? I don't know. That's besides the point. Don't get me started again.
So should we talk about some of the other big news in Defiance, like what's going on with Chrissy?
Who cares?
She's going to have an albino baby.
That you want to know something? Everybody was like, Stama walks in and goes, "You're pregnant." How fucking gross is that?
It's a casty thing. That's what they do. They can just tell.
And then Alec comes over and says, "Yeah, you are. Why didn't you tell me?" It's like, wouldn't you have known that by now? I don't know.
Alec, he's kind of a sucky casty. He can't be the rough guy. He doesn't know how to smell babies. I don't know. He doesn't seem to do anything right. He puts his radio station at the worst possible place in all of St. Louis.
And I just want to point out that John McGivness says that Betty White would rock your world, Kelly.
Yeah, and she will get no chance to do so. I hate Betty White. But anyway. So I think we beat Defiance with a stick here, boys.
Yes,
Is there anything else we need to...
beat it, but at the end it was Arissa, and who knows? It looks like maybe Arissa is reborn from a person... Because there was a mutiny on the ship, we're finding out. That ship that's hidden under there. So, more stuff, but at least they're letting us in on something.
Yeah, that part threw me a little bit. I was trying to piece together because there was... The guy she was talking to, we've not seen him, right?
No, we haven't.
He's no other character that I've missed or something like that.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he is introduced.
He's not the mayor, right? Just
No,
to
he's
make
not.
sure. Okay, good. I get the details get by me from time to time, so I need Tony here to kind of keep me square. So.
And just real quick, I also liked how they got Daytac out was with Dr. Yule getting the mayor saying, "I need your help to discover this thing," and she's like, "Let's do it," and then I need an assistant, and she grabs Daytac.
But do you? I mean, interesting you bring that up, Dylan. Do you? So he just the last episode said, "Hey, I'm keeping your butt in here for the next 10 years, buddy." He didn't seem to like Daytac or have any interest in Daytac getting out of there. So you think he's just going to roll like that when she goes, "I need an assistant, it has to be him"? That was the part that
he did it
a little bit.
He did it. Well, I mean, he did apparently because it worked. I mean, maybe it's because whatever he found in that safe is enough that Dr. Yule would maybe be willing to stay in prison if she can't get there. I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question, Kelly. But yeah, I mean, it did seem kind of convenient that he was able to walk out with her, and that maybe that might be a problem I had with the episode. Now I think about it, but not as bad as last week's episode with the countdown to 0. I'm not even going to get into that. But anyway, good point.
Again, exactly what Dylan just said. He said he would never let him out because they had that orchestrated thing going on, and the mayor actually said, agreed with Daytac, saying, "Hey, in 10 years, I'd want you as somebody on my side when you get out," because that's when he was going to get out anyway. But whatever, and we don't know what Dr. Yule is working on, but apparently that is more important to him than anything else, and he let Daytech out because guess what happened? Daytech walked out with Dr. Yule, and the one thing I do want to point out that we've never seen, because they've always shown Daytech's house, and it's all white. It's different shades of white. It's never been dirty. And in the bath, no one's actually ever gotten clean in the bath until tonight. Because, as he's walking in, he was leaving dirt as he walked in. And they focused on the dirt. And, I guess the impression you're supposed to leave, you're supposed to be left with is that, everywhere he walked, there was a footprint, there was a dirt smear, there was everything. And you've never seen that on any of the episodes whenever they've shown his house. So, I mean, he was really walking in, and the way he walked in was purposeful. And he got in, and he's like, almost like Jack Nicholson in The Shining, except the way Daytac would do it. "Honey, I'm home." He said, he walked in, and then he got into the bath. And I don't know if you caught right before he walked up to Stama, before he started choking her, but she kind of looked down, and I said to myself, and I tweeted out, Daytac is looking for that happy ending right now. And then he just started choking the crap out of her, which is, I mean, that was a pretty intense scene. That whole bath scene. And I didn't think it was gonna. I thought it was gonna end badly, but that was like they did a preemptive strike, because the song ended, and then there was still that scene with Arissa, the ship, and stuff going on.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's a fun show. Tony B, you got to catch up, man. You're gonna find many interesting scenes, and it's also just really good sci-fi.
I'm intrigued by it, and right now, like, between the shows I do presently watch, which is like Hell on Wheels, Walking Dead, and The Americans, are all not in season right now. I've actually been looking for something else other than Halt and Catch Fire to watch. So I'll probably find a way to obtain the first season of this and check it out, and maybe by the next time I'm on, let's say 4 or 5 months, because that's the rotation I'm on with you guys, and I'll be able to talk better about it.
Yeah, I try and do it sooner than that, Tony, but Tony fights me on it all the time. I'm like, let's bring Tony Viejo back on. Tony Solo's like, no, and Mike's not very supportive either, but I'm here for you. Just want you to know that.
Well, I appreciate that. It's the bonding over Brutal Planet is what we have.
There you go. Absolutely, which I was remiss in mentioning earlier on Mike's Facebook question, but I got it out.
And that's why, actually, that's what intrigued me to that question. I saw Brutal Planet brought up, so I was like, hey, I should post on here. So that's why I did that.
Okay, so I'm going to put my 2 cents in.
Okay.
For the first
For the
couple-
first time ever, Tony's going to express an opinion. Go.
Okay, for the first couple of segments that we were doing the show, Dylan sat there and said nothing because he's not into Werealive, and there was other stuff going on. I don't like to have guests on that can't talk about the subjects. And then when Defiance came up, Dylan finally had a lot of stuff to talk about, and going to Dylan. I'd love Tony to be in the same position that Dylan is in. At least Dylan's got the Defiance kind of shit going on. So at least, if we're talking about something, even if he's not all the way caught up, kind of knows what's going on. And Mike is just fucking useless. Let's put it that way. I mean, we know Mike is useless.
Well,
Allow
me to
let
play
me summarize.
devil's advocate here for just 1 second. I assume that the 3 of you, I'm not including Mike in this conversation because I don't know what he does on Sunday nights, but I'm assuming the 3 of you are fans of said show called The Walking Dead, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
The Walking Dead is the shittiest show ever put on TV, and I will never watch it. And having said that, I'm going to walk off the show. I'll be right back because there's some noise going on upstairs. And
I was going to say, because the next time you and I are in a room together, I'm just going to put you to sleep. That's just going to happen.
Sleeper hole, love it. Just don't molest me when you're doing it. I'll be right back.
Okay.
You guys
All right,
continue.
We'll see. We'll continue here in a second.
Notice he
Let me
didn't say
summarize.
I couldn't molest him.
There we go. So I want to summarize since Tony's gone. So Dylan, I think the short version of this is you suck, but you know Defiance. So that's the summary.
That's what I got.
So wait, it's you suck. Wait, no, it's also that you're a horrible person, which I established earlier because you didn't like the first song in Defiance, which makes you an incredibly bad person. So even though you know Defiance, you didn't like the first song. So I'm not sure where that leaves you, but I don't think it's in a good place. I gotta be honest with you. It's not looking good. Hey, so here we do have, this is the first time ever, this usually happens when the show's ended. Tony's had to step away from the microphone.
So now we got to think what we're going to do really quick.
Yep, come on, quick. What are we going to do? We're going to do something when he comes back.
Talk about Fantastic Five Rabbit.
Let's all get up and walk away.
Just all leave when he comes back?
As soon as you see him coming back, we all get up and walk away for like 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
And just let him host the show himself.
I wonder if he'll shut the show down. That'll be interesting. This will be fascinating. You live listeners, this is going to be a very exciting thing. So, yeah, keep it.
Shout out to Pinky Guerrero. She follows me on Facebook. That's pretty cool of her. And she's a fan of the Snark Alex. I assume she's a fan of the Night Train Effect too. I don't know. But shout out to her.
And a big Lex fan. Huge Lex fan. So, okay. Hey, can we do 1 minute, Mike? Because I'm just a little worried about Tony.
Okay, yeah, let's do 1 minute so that he doesn't shut the show down.
Yeah.
As soon as you see him walking back, don't even wait for him to sit down. We all just get up and walk away.
Gotcha. You down for this, Dylan?
Sure, why not? I'm a horrible person.
That's right. Yes, you are.
Lower thirds don't lie.
Oral person, Dylan. There you go.
Yeah, there you
Great
go.
band name too.
Of course, we didn't take into consideration that Tony just left.
Yeah.
And isn't
He
coming
just
back.
He's like.
They said I don't want that Viejo guy on the show. I'm just gonna leave.
So
He just went into another room.
So here's another
locked
thing.
in.
He's not here, so but you'll hear this later on the show. He frickin' begs for those blues. He's the most needy person on getting a boo I have ever seen. What? You didn't boo that? You didn't boo that?
You know, he's just in the other room watching this on YouTube now. Trying to see what we'll say about him.
He's gonna come back with retribution in his eyes.
I do have to admit that during Snakehead, I appreciate, and it might sound like I'm sucking up to you, Kelly, but I appreciate some of your puns. Some of them are very, very well thought out and very. If you don't know a lot of stuff, you might not get them. So that one you did with the bank during Snakehead Swamp, that was a pretty good one. I'll have to give you that one.
That was fun, and we'll talk.
Puns are bad. I'm just saying that like they're good. And I appreciate.
Okay, go.
Okay, nice. So everybody decided that they were going to duck out of camera range, and that's the end of the Snark Alec radio show for tonight. So thank you guys for watching, and we're out. We're not going to talk about Under the Dome.
I'm here. What's up?
Um, okay, so you're back. So because when I walked into the room, everybody was on camera, and now everybody's gone. So
I can still hear you. I can still hear you over the headphones.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. So.
And then when I heard you say you're gonna shut down, I said, "Yeah, I can't do that to Tone. Yeah, here comes Cal."
No, it's all right. So I could play my game too. So, oh look, everybody's Yes, I do. No, I don't want to block them. So now they're just gonna have to find their way back in. So, Dylan, at this point it's 10:37. We're gonna take another break, and when we come back, we can talk about Under the Dome, which you haven't seen, and I'll
go ahead and do your quibble. Yeah, do your quibble. That's fine. I'd love to hear it.
I'm going to re-invite Kelly and Mike, because you want to know something? It's like whenever Tony walks out of the room, let's play a joke on him. Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it. So they've been re-invited in, but we know Mike had a big problem coming back in. There was a frog on my front porch, and they were having a fit about it, and they were calling my cell phone, and the frog was about... It was no bigger than that. So, and people on the radio, it would have fit in the palm of my hand, and I just picked it up and tossed it.
That's the thing I have at work. I'm the designated bug killer at work, because all the ladies that are in my production departments, they're like, it's a bug, it's a bee, it's a spider, kill it, get rid of it. I'm like, all right, fine, I'll grab it. So I smack the bee down, or I squash the spider. I was like, it's all done, I'm gone. And they're not even that bad, they're little guys.
Yeah, so anyway,
did you want to take a break? Is that what you said?
Yeah, we're going to take a break. So when we come back, hopefully Kelly and Mike will be back. And if they don't come back, well, we can go on for a little bit longer, and we'll see what happens. So anyway, this is the Snark Alec radio show on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel, and we'll be right back, I think. And we're back. I am Tony, and he is Dylan, and Kelly and Mike are nowhere to be found. I don't know why they left the show. I have no idea why they left the show. And we're going to get ready to talk about Under the Dome. He's not blocked. He's not.
Who said that, Mike?
Kelly said he's blocked. I said, no, I don't want to block him. So that means I have to go into G+, and I have to find Kelly and unblock him. Save. And I re-invited him, so he should not be blocked. So that means I have to go to here. So anyway, one of my quibbles, if not more than one quibble, is that they moved the show to 10 o'clock. And that 10 o'clock start time really kind of kills me. Even it used to be on 9 o'clock, but I don't know if they're going to get into more graphic stuff, which is why they moved it to the 10 o'clock slot. I'm kind of...
It's probably a good assumption. I mean, if the fact is that, they talked to the showrunner, who I don't think it's Brian K. Vaughan anymore, but if he said this is where we're going to be going, we might need a shift in time frame. Maybe CBS decided, hey, maybe we should move it to 10 o'clock and let them do their thing. That sound about right? I mean,
well, I know when they move to the 10 o'clock time slot, they do let more graphic violence and stuff go on, but I don't know. I mean, what's on before Under the Dome? Which is what I don't know. Because I didn't watch TV until 10 o'clock. I turned it on and watched Under the Dome. Um, Nothing I watch on Mondays because Sleepy Hollow isn't on anymore. So, um, but let me see if I can get Kelly and Mike back in here because Kelly says he's blocked and he shouldn't be. We
Or
might
maybe they're just being ornery now.
either that or yeah, exactly because I know I did not block him. Let me go on to so I'm gonna let Kelly know that I sent him another invite because we don't like dead air.
I mean, I could talk a little about, my comic show. Dylan knows comic shows on Sunday.
Nah, we don't want to talk about comics. We don't do comics on fucking SnarkAlecs Radio. Which is okay. So I'm gonna let at this point. I'm going to let a little bit of a cat out of the bag because one of the things that we are going to do is add segments to the SnarkAlecs Radio Show. And people might think that we are ripping off the Dylan Knows show, but we're going to have a couple of revolving topics that we always do. Like one week it might be surviving the zombie apocalypse. Another week it might be gadgets and games and gizmos. Another week it might be books. But we're going to have a revolving topic segment that happens on SnarkAlecs Radio, where Dylan has revolving topics for his whole show. We are just going to have a couple of segments that, repeat. And some of them are not going to be as repetitive as once a month. They may be like a once a quarter or once every couple of months as needed segments. So we're going to try and incorporate that into the show a little bit more. So, we'll do tech and we'll do books and, anything surviving the zombie apocalypse might be mine. And, Mike might do some music stuff. And we're working on that. But the stuff that Dylan touches is the stuff that we never touch, which is the paranormal. Dylan has his list show.
Yeah, the comics and the international, which is just our revolving, talking about whatever topics of the day we feel like. So, I'll give you an example. July, the one we're doing end of this month we're gonna have a segment about Twin Peaks because the McGivnas are going to be on the show with me, and they're fans of Twin Peaks, and Twin Peaks is being released on Blu-ray either. I think it's that Tuesday after International, so it'd be a way just to segue into this. Like, hey, if you like Twin Peaks, don't forget to pick up the big Blu-ray complete edition set, which is, for Twin Peaks fans, is freaking amazing. It's every episode on Blu-ray, and it's also going to include the prequel movie, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, in the set, and also there's about 2 hours worth of footage that was excised and cut from the show and the movie put back in. So, fans who can't get enough of their David Lynch and their Twin Peaks, this is going to be like a crown jewel, and I'm definitely going to pick up my copy as well. So, it's like 15 discs should be really cool. Maybe not 15 discs, like 8 discs maybe. But
now, I was a fan of Twin Peaks. I liked that show. It was one of the things that I like about TV and cinema. If you haven't listened to SnarkAlecs Radio before, one of the things that I say about movies is, like, I love the 1950s black and white movies, Teenagers from Outer Space, because take me someplace I haven't been. I don't want to see a guy doesn't get girl, almost gets girl, and gets girl at the end of the movie. Okay? Every freaking movie is like that, and it's the same story over and over again. A lot of these movies, take me someplace I haven't gone before. You know, when you've got a giant monster destroying Tokyo, I love it. Why? Because it's never going to happen. It's totally so far out there. When you've got giant snakehead fish, which are basically Frankenfish, but they didn't want to call it Frankenfish because they've already done Frankenfish, so they called it Snakehead Swamp. Um, eh, Eating people in the movie that was on Saturday, that's the kind of movie I want to watch because it's never going to happen. It's unbelievable and take me to someplace, you know, it's an escape.
Mhm.
But I will tell you, I probably did not have as much fun watching Snakehead Swamp as you guys did with the live tweet because I watched it and it was kind of rough, you know, just watching it. But I watched it and then I watched it again and I matched it up with the tweets and it was really funny. I mean, and I was coming up with my own stuff as that was going on. And I'm sorry, I'm a little distracted here because I'm trying to get Kelly back in.
I understand, no problem.
But you know, still, I mean, from what I could see, it sounded like everybody had a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was old school. I mean, when we did Big Ass Spider, which was the last one we did before, that one was just pure awesome, and everyone just loved that. And it was such a great movie that we didn't really have. I mean, we tried our best to do some snarking, but you want to get the really, really bad movies, the ones that are bad. That's the ones where you get the best tweets. And it seemed like old times, you know, when we did that. We had a good group of people in there. As you posted, we trended very quickly, I think, early on, or Pinky did, and you retweeted or something like that. But
Yeah.
we trended it very quickly, and it was fun. I was having a great time, and I could see everybody else was. I mean, we were lots of people involved with it, and it was just one of those fun things. And to be honest, I gave it a 7 on the vote, mainly probably because of the fact that I was having such a great time with it, because, you know, Kelly was on with his puns. Dawn had her great comments. I'm trying to remember some of the other big ones were in there. We just had, you know, just everybody was involved with it, and it was a blast. It was so much fun to just watch that. And you were missed because you have some moments as well, which
I always have moments. A lot of people don't realize that I have lots of freaking moments. But you know, I could see the problem with missing a live tweet is very early on. What happens is that characters get identified, and traits of those characters get identified, and then people read those tweets and carry that through. So if you're not on the train when it leaves the station, you know, on Tuesday, and you get on the train Wednesday, it's not the same. You know, you have to be on the train with everybody else, and you know, I could see the threads, and I could see what was going on, and I could see that movie was pretty much a gold mine because it had all the ingredients of a bad movie. And you said you gave it a 7, but I also know that because it was such a long time between movies, that it may have gotten a 7 from you, just because it was a long time coming, as opposed to, you know, back last year and the year before when we used to get at least 2 movies a month. It felt like, you know, I mean, at least a movie a month, where we've only had like 4 movies in total this year. You know,
Yeah.
we've been deprived, but you know.
I agree. I mean, I understand that it totally did color my opinion of it. But despite the fact that I gave it such a high rating, it was also because the film itself was fun too. And it wasn't necessarily just because, I mean, maybe if I go back and looked at it like you did when you watched it without having the benefit of a live tweet, maybe I would have found something a little bit more problematic with it. But I like the idea of the giant snakeheads, and I kind of like the characters. I'd like to hate them, maybe is the right one, especially the douchey guy who, you know, I forget what his name was. but everybody wanted him to die by the end and die very brutally, and he ended up just getting eaten by the snake cat. And everybody's like, "We were wrong. That's horrible. He should have been, had his eyes gouged out and his head torn off and all stuff." But no, he just got eaten. So I forget what the guy's name was, but it was interesting.
Some of the scenes were pretty poorly written. I mean, again, like when you're sitting there and you're watching the movie by yourself and you don't have a device to look at while you're watching it, some of the dialogue was pretty lame. It was extremely leading. The characters, the mother, like, I just couldn't understand like what her deal was. Apparently one of these fish or something happened to the younger brother in the swamp at some point, and we had to have the mother and father split up because of that.
Yeah.
And by the end of the movie, everything is all good, and everybody is happy at the end.
And maybe that's what it is too. I'm a sucker for happy ending also, and a lot of them, they do have happy endings, but more than likely you only have one or two survivors. In this case, we had a lot more, which was interesting.
So I just posted another invitation to, I guess Kelly has an alternate account that nobody knew about.
Kelly Cool's back.
I hope so. There he is. Okay, so where's your audio, dude?
Yeah, I can't hear his voice.
I did not block you, but apparently I did. That'll teach you to play a joke on old Tony. Okay. So I had some kind of noise going on.
It's dial-up. Oh my god.
He's using a fax machine to get into the show. Kelly, are you there?
He was just muted again.
I hear you.
There we go.
There we
I
go.
can hear you.
Hey, and you're in color, too.
That's right. Speaking to you from the Homeowners Association Gmail account. I'm sure that'll be fine. There's no violation there.
I like that gold tint to your glasses that we weren't seeing before.
Even cooler now in color, eh? So.
Hey, anyway, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back. And when we get back, Kelly and Dylan are going to talk about Snakehead Swamp. I have no idea what happened to Mike. He can't seem to find his way back, although I know I didn't block him either. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk about Snakehead Swamp. Maybe we're going to go back into Under the Dome a little bit, and we'll be right back. This is the Snark Alec Radio Show on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. Take it, Kelly.
Hey, I'm trying to set up my little title thing. Hey, we're back. You listen to SnarkAlec Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel, and I'm Cool Kelly. Joining you from my Homeowners Association account because Tony blocked me.
Yeah, it's because someone was a fucking dick.
No, wait. There was more than one. I was.
Dylan came back, though. Dylan came back, and when you guys didn't come back,
well,
what did I do?
Now, Dylan, were you at a full minute? Because I was.
No, I wasn't out a full minute. I was out about 30 seconds because I could hear Tony through my headphones. He's like, "I'm going to shut this down." I was like, "I can't do that to her."
Yeah.
Well, what happened
that was my mistake.
I
should have kept the headphones going too.
Okay, so listen, assholes. Okay, I'm walking to the room. Everybody's on camera. I walk into the room, and then all of a sudden, everybody bails. Okay, Tony's not going to look like an asshole, so I just bounce you right out of the friggin' hangout. Because it's always Kelly with a joke. It's always Gerald Webb with a joke. Let's play a joke on Tony. Yeah, okay.
We did because it's fun.
Fucking back. Fun. No, it wasn't.
It was a little fun, wasn't it?
No, not at all.
Not at all. It was. Well, that was so. In my defense, and it's a minor defense, but so.
No, You have
when
no
you go back
defense.
and listen, when you listen to the show, what you're going to find out is that the original proposal for once we disappeared was a 2-minute delay before we returned.
Oh, I wasn't going to stick around for 2 minutes. I was going
Well,
to.
that's what I felt. I was like,
That's
boy,
what Kelly said,
if we
yeah.
leave Tony hanging for 2 minutes, this whole show's done. And so I talked it down. Dylan, you can back me on this. I talked it down from 2 minutes to I said, we got to go a minute.
No,
And
you
then we
should
come
have
back.
talked it down to about 3 seconds because at that point, if Dylan's head didn't pop up, I was ending the broadcast at that point.
That's what I should have kept the headphones on to listen to kind of hear what you were saying to know. So thank you, Dylan, for showing back up. Yeah, but Tony, I'm blocked. I tried.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to figure out how to undo that, but you want to know something? You wouldn't have got fucking blocked if you didn't fucking be an asshole. So, there you go.
I get it. I get it. So that's fair
I
enough.
guess maybe we should call you a horrible person, Kelly, now too.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm going to
Well,
not do the lower.
Mike might be blocked too, and I'm not going to fucking lift that ban. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, the big question will be how persistent is that block?
Well, I'm trying to figure out how to undo that, so.
So yeah, if you want to, Kel, we talked a little bit about it. If Tony wants to work on that. Snakehead Swamp, do you have the tweet of the night thing? Are we doing?
I
the
do have the tweet of the night thing. Let me go ahead and get my lower third up and running here.
10:57.
It's this horrible person.
Just keep an eye on the clock. We want to stop at about maybe 11:10, and then we can go into Under the Dome again a little bit. And I'll try and work on unblocking the Kelly tool.
Okay. Alrighty. Dylan, give me 1 second here, and I can bring up I can bring up the tweet of the tweets of the night here. Trying to think what might be easier how to do this here. So maybe what we can kind of do here. So we got around 10 minutes. Is we'll go through. And Dylan, what I'll do is I've got them. I did the tweets in kind of sequential order, as best I could.
I saw that. You reversed them.
Reversed them and covered it, and then we'll come down to. I think the way it kind of played out, we've got 2 we can choose from. I'm always a little reluctant to have tweet of the night come from somebody on the show, so because I have one that's a fine contender and I'm proud of it, but I think we may award ultimate tweet of the night to somebody else. But we'll get there. But I'll go ahead and get started, and Dylan, maybe as I go through the tweets, we can kind of stop and talk about the movie when those different parts of the tweets came out.
Sure.
So the first tweet nominated for tweet of the night actually came from Mr. Solo. He nominated Lisa Marie Bowman, who tweeted out just as the movie was starting, more like Snarkhead Swamp. Am I right, or am I right?
Yeah, and okay, so I did throw out a couple of tweets because I was on my phone, and at the beginning of the movie, I just wanted to get in there, and any Snark Alec tweet I saw, I was just retweeting it, and that leads to how it got trended.
Yeah, and Lisa Marie was her usual awesome self during the show. I mean, and Dylan, I was listening to the show as I was trying to recover from my unblockage issue, and I heard you guys talking a little bit about Dylan. You mentioned how it was good to kind of have everybody back, and we did miss Tony, absolutely, but it was good. You know, most of the crew is back because it's been a long time since we've had a chance to do something like this.
And even longer because Big Ass Spider was such a great film that it was not your typical type of movie that we could just tear to shreds in our usual way we do things because it was just pure awesomeness. So it was even longer than that too.
And Dylan was 100% right with that because that was one of the ones that we snarked with, not at.
At, yeah.
So
this was an ad. This was definitely an ad. No, but it was I mean, Snark Alex were out in almost full force, absent Tony with some conflicts, but we had the McGevnas out there. We had Jeans was back in the mix.
Yeah,
which was
she
really
was.
awesome
she
to
really
see.
Was. She had some good ones as well.
Yes. Never a supporter of my tweets, by the way, but that's why she's an enemy of the state. So next nominated tweet of the night was from GuyLex83, Mommy Dearest, Park Ranger Edition. um, by Patrick, and that got a favorite as well. So
When
Dylan,
I
talk to me a little bit about that mother ranger,
Yeah,
mother-son
when
relationship.
I didn't quite understand. I mean, I assumed I didn't assume because at the time when I first saw her and she's talking about my Ricky or whatever his name was, my Billy, I forget what the character's name was. At that time I thought, oh, she must have dated him. It was like a cougar, younger guy type of thing. I thought that there was gonna be some sort of big love triangle thing going on, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Mom, what are you doing here?" I was like, "Really?" And yeah, she seemed a little. I understand. I mean, she's going through a divorce with her husband. Did they really go into why? I mean, did I miss maybe the reason why they were separating? He wasn't paying attention to her. He was too busy with his science.
That was inferred at least from there, but and of course by the end of the movie we got treated to a mother-son mouth-on-mouth kiss, which is always special. I'm not going to take a survey.
It seemed, I don't know, she seemed, I don't know, when I first saw her in the relationship with her son, it just seemed a little, I don't want to say Norman Bates-ish, but it was just kind of, it just seemed a little awkward, and then they split up for the rest of the movie for the most part, and then got back together at the end. Um, I don't know, it just seemed a little eerie to me, I don't know, creepy. What about you, Cal?
I found it really creepy too, because it was just that whole dynamic between her and her son was really creepy. So kind of keep in our 10 minutes. I'm gonna keep moving along here. Warren Peace, AS64, who's kind of I think a newer Snark version of Snark Alec Mix, or at least in the tweeting of Snakehead Swamp. And I'm gonna say this one did fairly well. I got favorited 5 times and retweeted twice as a nominated tweet of the night. I'm not supportive of this tweet, but I just wanted to clarify that. Eating an Asian ranger? Stupid fish. He'll just be hungry in an hour. So that was Holly
borderline
nominated.
racist. Yes, borderline racist, but
Borderline.
yeah, okay, it is more exactly, but
I think we've crossed the border. But anyway, so that was there.
yeah.
MJ Khan, who's awesome. Always throws out some really cool ones. They took our gerbs. So they took our jobs from South Park. I nominated that one and got 2 favorites as well. And this was Tony. So you did see it, right?
I did see the movie. Yes, I did see it, but not with the benefit of the live tweet at the same time.
So I can't remember the character's name now. Gerbil Hamster or something, but one of the
Which one,
Cajun-
Ian?
No, not
Oh,
Ian.
you talking about the 2 guys that were in the boat?
Yeah. So
Oh, I
that
don't
guy,
remember.
he was babbling on the took our gerb, so that came out during that time, followed by Jeans tweeting, I don't understand, it's like a geriatric Daryl Dixon with rocks in his mouth, which I thought was a perfect description of this guy.
Now, the one thing I had issue with the whole movie was it takes place in the you'd have to say in the bayou. There's no Zydeco music. They should throw some Zydeco in there, man.
Absolutely, yeah, because it was almost more Daft Punk kind of stuff. I mean, it was weird when they had stuff. It was not Zydeco, that's for sure. Unlike Swamp Shark, which had some sweet kind of Cajun music going. So Midgie Girl, and I was a big fan of Red Bikini Girl. Red Bikini Down, Red Bikini Down. That got favorited 4 times with 2 retweets.
Was that
you had a good one. I don't know if I got tweet of the night on that, but you had a good one about her blossoming or something around it.
Yeah,
Oh, that was the hot. You talking about the hot girl? She was the one that had
the Carrie Potter. That was Carrie Potter. Yeah.
Harry Potter. Okay, she was the young girl that was too young to drink beer, and as soon as nobody was looking, they gave her a beer.
Yep.
And then she's like she takes off her her shirt or whatever. And she's wearing the red bikini, and the creepy guy who everybody
Ian.
hated was like, yeah, it was Ian. That's what it was. The creepy guy was like, yeah, she looks like she really blossomed. And I think I might have just reiterated what he said. So I really
Supported
can't
Ian.
for that.
Because you're a horrible person.
Exactly. My jokes are more along the lines of making fun of her name, Carrie Potter, Harry Potter. So we did a bunch of those Carrie Potter jokes.
So then we get into a point where snakeheads have made their way to land, and there's like a soccer game going on. This little big kind of fuzzy-haired afroed kid kind of walks to the edge of the forest where the snakehead swamp is, or the snakehead is at, and I tweeted, "Watch out, soccer ball kid. The scientific name of that creature is Luis Suarez," and that did really well. That got like 10 favorites, 15 retweets, and people liked that one quite a bit. And if you're watching the World Cup, it made perfect sense. If you're not,
exactly, it was that time where it was the perfect timing for that joke.
So that was good. Myrtleotta. So this is again Myrtleotta and his wife
Nicole, yeah. Nicole,
yeah, which is her, because it's what's her Twitter handle?
Sweet Con, yeah.
Con Sweet Con. She is awesome. When she doesn't do like a ton of tweets, but every one she does is money, and pretty much the same for Myrtleotta. Myrtleotta tweeted out, "The safety on the cleaver is on," because I guess
I think I voted for that one also. I retweeted whatever. That was hilarious.
You nominated that one, and it got 5 favorites and 3 retweets, so it did really well.
Just they had it was the deputy or something. No, it was her husband. That's what it was the chemistry professor who didn't know how to shoot a gun. She's like, the safety's on, and then when he couldn't shoot it, and then he went over, and there was the cleaver, and he just starts slashing it, pounding the snakehead because he's a scientist and he knows how to use the cleaver.
Yeah, he was a nut.
Oh.
So I'm watching the time there, T. So we're going to. So Dylan, and this one, you had a tweet I nominated for Tweet of the Night. Did not get the love it should have, which was you kind of did a little Aerosmith on us when you had Marky's got a gun. When the kind of crazy old lady grabbed the gun, which was I thought a really good tweet.
Thank you.
Followed by another one that was really another little more Dylan love here. Chris, a little bit later, Chris is firing away and not hitting anything, and anytime you can pull Star Wars in, thumbs up. Dylan, Chris would make an excellent stormtrooper. Well done, sir. Excellent.
Thank you.
MJ Khan again. These kids are not able to outrun some fish, and I can't. And then he goes, how are these kids not able to outrun some fish? Pause. And I can't believe I just tweeted that.
That's why
this guy's an author. He writes very well. And so that's, I think we got a couple ones here. Oh, well, I'm going to do this one here so Nerd Instinct. Tony, I don't know if Nerd Instinct is a member of the Snark Alec group or not.
Is that the Twitter handle?
That's the Twitter handle, @NerdInstinct. Very active during this show, and very funny, I thought, a number of times. And towards the tail end of this, Nerd Instinct tweeted, "Dude, even Indiana Jones doesn't randomly defile altars." And I nominated that for Tweet of the Night, and it got a couple favorites and a retweet. So, but whoever that is was actually very active and very funny. So if they're not a member of Snark Alex, there'd be a good one to add.
Okay.
But with all of that action going on, I believe we need to make the official awarding of Tweet of the Night because I think we have to exempt hosts. Although my Luis Suarez tweet I'm quite proud of, I think we give it to Myrtleotta for the safety on the cleavers on. That had the largest number of retweets and favorites outside of Suarez. So.
I second that one. So
very good. Congratulations, Jay. Well done, sir. And well done to your wife as well. Nicole rocked it as usual too. So, so that works. We keep playing around. Would love to hear from fellow Snark Alex when we do have one. It was great to be with all you guys again to do that. Really fun. We're trying to figure out. Tony and I've kind of explored in the past. How do you do this the best way? I do think kind of running down through the tweets and we can kind of stop and talk about parts of the movie can work. We're still trying to refine how you do that. Do you talk about the movie and then talk about the tweets? I don't know. But if you guys got ideas on how it would flow the best, let us know. I think it was awesome tonight with you, Dylan, to have on because you watched it too. We kind of
That was Dylan.
reminisce
If you
about.
didn't know, that was the main reason why Dylan was on tonight, was because I was not involved in the live tweet, although I saw the movie. The way you two guys just bounced off each other while I was trying to unblock Kelly. And Kelly, you're not blocked, so you might be blocked from this hangout. And what we might want to do after the show is
Just shut down and
shut it
restart.
down and start and just make sure that you're not. But that one of the main reasons that Dylan was on was because I know he was involved in the live tweet, and because he's a fan of Defiance, and because hey, we like to have Dylan on every once in a while. But he would
Even
have.
though he's a horrible person.
Oh, he sucks. But Dylan, one of the main reasons that we had you on tonight was because you were involved in the live tweet and I wasn't, and whatever, and knew I was going to just be sitting here doing nothing. Didn't know I was going to be trying to fix a problem with Kelly, but that's because Kelly was an asshole. So anyway,
Yeah,
we're going to
yes,
take
I
a break,
was.
and when we come back, we're going to talk about Under the Dome real briefly, and then we're going to wrap this sucker up, and then we'll say goodnight.
Sounds good. Hey, you're listening to SnarkAlecs Radio Live 365 Live. We'll be right back.
We're back.
You're listening to SnarkAlecs Radio on Live 365's Loud and Loaded channel. The last people standing in the show due to the great blockage is Dylan.
Shit fucking happens, dude. Wait a minute. Shit fucking happens, yo.
Yeah, it does. I think it was a very reasonable response to the situation. So I just regret Dylan was the smart one here in keeping the headphones on to kind of hear you process the situation to know now would be a good time to show back up because I didn't want to, since I Darth Vader all the time, if I even though I lost camera, Tony would be hearing which wouldn't have been too good. So
so Tony, you wanted to hit Under the Dome again?
Yeah, so I know you guys did not watch Under the Dome. So at the end of the first season, we had Barbie on the news. The whole town wanted him dead, and Barbie gets out, and he's on the run. And so this season starts out, and I'm going to do this real quick because there's a couple other things I want to do, but because I want to do some flashbacks. But basically, everybody in the town wants Barbie dead. Okay? All of a sudden, there's some magnetic fluxes happening in the dome, and anything that's metal is getting attracted, and they're getting worse, and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, Barbie's there, and he's around, and if you remember at the end of the first season, the dome was kind of trying to tell everybody to kill Big Jim. Well, that theme is continuing. There's a new character that's added who seems to be the Dome. I'm going to call her the Dome because that's my theory. We also get another new character, which is Big Jim's brother-in-law. Crazy James, mother's brother, gets added to the mix. Some things happen, and but basically what happens is the culmination of the episode, to give you guys some spoilers, but watch it anyway. Absolutely. Because there's a lot of stuff that happens, is that Big Jim comes to the realization that he must kill himself because that's what the Dome wants. He wants to die.
Really? He does not strike me as a guy that would be self-aware or sacrifice himself. That's cool. That's interesting.
The culmination of the episode is Big Jim getting up on that podium that they have set up for Barbie, puts the noose around his neck, and Barbie refuses to let him die, and the redheaded chick actually saves him. But Angie, on the other hand, hates his guts and wants him dead. And there's a lot of stuff that happens in the episode. This new character that is the girl that I'm going to call the Dome. Angie sees her a couple of times at the end of the episode, and here comes my big quibble. Okay, at the end of the episode, Angie is doing something very mundane, and there was a lot of people tweeting about this. Angie was taking out the trash. Now, when you're in the Dome, why would you want to take out the trash? Well, I'm going to tell you, I don't want the trash inside my house. I'll take it outside. I might not put it in a garbage can. I might not walk 25 yards from my house to throw out the garbage, but I'll get the garbage out of my house. Sees this mysterious person, follows her into the high school, and the mysterious figure runs away. Angie chases. All of a sudden, there's an axe coming right at Angie. Blood splatter. End of episode. We don't know if Angie's alive or dead. That's the way the episode ends.
Wow. But unless you're like...
Hold on, here comes my fucking quibble. In the preview, fucking Jim goes, Angie's fucking dead. Okay, so why did you end the episode with the mystery? Because all they do is they show the axe coming at you with the blood splatter. Okay, and then right after that, they show the preview of the next episode and say, Angie's dead.
Why not show her getting killed? Yeah.
Unless she's not.
Well, everybody who's died in this fucking show comes back anyway. Okay? What's her name?
Is that consistent with the book, by the way?
No. No. Visions of people who died was not consistent with the book. No. For the most part. People having visions and things going on in their head, especially little Jim, yeah. With the people that were running the meth lab, yeah. Which I think they're getting away from the drug meth lab that Big Jim was running, and that's why he needed all the propane. They got away from that storyline completely, which was in the book. And the ending of the book has got to be the ending of the show is totally different. But I mean, my main quibble and my big quibble is, okay, if you end the show on a cliffhanger like that, and The Walking Dead has done it too. They ended on a cliffhanger, but when they show the preview for the next show, they don't show any spoilers in the preview for the next show. And the way The Walking Dead has been getting away with it is they've been segmenting some of the storylines. So, hey, this week we saw Daryl and Beth. That's what the whole episode was about. They end that episode on a cliffhanger, and then next week's preview is what's going on with Tyrese and what's going on with Rick. And you're fine with it, you know? You're fine with it. Because even if they left Tyrese on a cliffhanger, you know, it wasn't in such a way where you thought a character was dead. How do you do this? I mean, there was a lot of people that were pretty livid. Why? Why even bother? You know, setting up the episode that way with that axe coming at you, all of a sudden blood splat, and you don't know what happened. And, you know, the character going, ah! But then again, on Under the Dome, every character that's ever died has come back and continued to work, so.
Yeah, or so one of two things happened there. Either they did exactly what you're quibbling about, which totally destroyed a cliffhanger, or they're messing with you. And Big Jim's saying she died, and we're going to find out she didn't. But
no, actually,
I'm giving them too much credit. So.
Yeah, well, actually, let me describe the scene. The scene that they showed was basically not Big Jim, but you know, his son, the girl that was raping Bunker Girl.
Yeah, Pussy Jim. Yeah.
Okay, he's over the body, and he turns towards the camera and says, "Angie's dead." Okay,
Oh, okay.
Angie is
So
at his knees.
they
So,
kind of screwed that up there.
it's one of those things where they leave no doubt in your mind. I mean, there was a doubt in your mind at the end of the episode. Is Angie dead? We'll find out next week. But no, let's show you a preview. Jim looks right at the camera and says, "Angie's dead."
Wow, that's bad.
That's
Bad.
really
That is very bad.
That's a big quibble. I'll give you that quibble big time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a shame too, because so is Dome Lady, the lady that you call the Dome, is she a little bit of a looker, maybe?
No,
Oh,
she
yeah.
is
That's-
Dome girl. She looks like she's like 14 or 15.
Okay.
So it's not even, anything like that, except they have introduced a science teacher.
Is that Sherry
Who-
Shrinkfeld from ER?
Maybe, I don't know.
Does
I
she
never
do
watched
does she
ER.
does she does science the way that science needs to be done in like really tight tank tops and stuff?
No.
Again, that's
And
not,
she won't
that's
bounce
not a
off-
lecherous comment. That's based
Yeah.
on scientific theory that a really snug-fitting shirt will push blood to the
Blood to the
brain,
brain.
allowing you to think more. It's the only reason.
So anyway, that's about all we can do on Under the Dome.
I'll get to it.
Yep.
I will be on track next episode if I'm
Yeah.
not blocked.
Well, we're going to test that out before we go. But one of the things I was going to do when we were talking about Defiance, when I had a frog problem upstairs.
Oh, we should maybe finish the
was-
show with Tony's frog problem. So
No, we're not going to talk about my frog problem, but we're going to finish the show with a couple of clips. So hold on. This should work. And Tommy is down there, and Black Jonah lines everybody up.
I
And
wish Tommy was one who'd been shot.
there's that dark Mel coming out of Canada.
What's wrong with
What you got
Tommy?
against Tommy?
I don't like him. He talks like he's got this criminal past. My God. I have socks that are meaner than him. I don't like him.
Say it. Tommy's a dick. Say it.
Tommy. No, he's not. That's the problem. He's just, I don't like Tommy.
Okay, so that was just a precursor for next week's show. I'm just saying. But wait, we have another. This one, Kelly, if it doesn't make you short, then there's something wrong.
I think that the Earth Republic are dicks actually carries well through the entire show.
Yes. We need a t-shirt that says that. Earth Republic or dicks.
Dicks. I think
Earth
that's
Republic?
the next new SnarkAlecs shirt.
Can't make
Don't
a shirt
sell
that
too
says
much.
that. No.
Why not? Oh, yes, you can.
Why?
Oh, speaking of, so Aaron, Geek Aaron wanted to give a shout out to Tony for helping teach his children to say batshit crazy, because in one of our earlier segments that was repeated about 47 times, and so there's a good chance it'll retain. Aaron, if your kids are still watching, Earth Republics are dicks. It's just my gift to you and the kids.
Sorry, Aaron. Around here, that's just normal talk.
Wow.
That is so.
So
That was early SnarkAlec radio.
So first of all, a couple things on that, Tony. Fantastic job on the audio there. That worked perfect. That was perfect audio. That sounded great. So I don't know what your setup was there, but you nailed it. Unfortunately, it just reminded me how much better Mel was than either you or I.
I know.
Crap.
He's
He's like,
so fucking natural. Okay, wait, hold on. You want more? I've got more.
You gotta have a maggot with some stamina.
Wait, hold on.
where does that come from? I
that
remember
was-
that as always being one of our quotes. But
Wait, hold on. I've got it. Wait. This is from show number 10. Okay? And if you people aren't laughing, everything that you're about to hear was from our 10th episode. Okay?
Zombies are supposed to be dead. You can't come back from being a zombie.
If you have language skills, you're not a zombie. You're a Kardashian with a skin condition.
I'm not down with the talking either. Zombies are dead. You gotta have a maggot with some stamina. Rip me another apple.
Because a maggot with stamina can light you up front to back.
Laura Norman, a maggot with stamina, can light you up from the front and the back. The front and the back was a Laura Norman thing. Oh, man, that was so good. So good.
That was it. That was it. Hey, I don't know what your setup there, because I know on the when we were doing the TV theme songs that you cheated me out of several points, Tony. The audio was pretty good for that one, but you nailed it tonight. I don't know what you figured out for a setup, but you got it down there, guy.
Okay,
nice
I'm going to tell you what I did. The audio that you listened to was audio ripped from our show in Audacity. And it was just clips I pulled out of Audacity, so it was our audio. So if that sounded really good, it was because, and basically all I was doing was this speaker here. I was holding it up to the microphone. You may not have been able to see it, but I just put the mic right on the speaker, and away we went with that. So, but this is, remember when we had the big deletion and I lost a lot of stuff? This was some of the stuff that was not gone. I mean, I could have always done this again, but this was stuff that I worked on because I cut it out. But, wait, did I play this one?
Tasmanian Devils 2, the Wonder Bra years, in which Danica McKellar has learned the age-old lesson, with great cleavage comes great responsibility.
Okay.
I know why
You want to know something? You want to know something? It's funny, but it can only be delivered by Mel. You know what I mean? That could have only been delivered by Mel. I was listening to this stuff earlier, and I was just like, this is friggin' gold. I mean, if you don't laugh at that, then you don't have a sense of humor. So, anyway, I think with that we're gonna call it a night, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, get to our 4th of July partying mode.
Yeah, Kelly.
So what are you doing there, Dylan?
4th of July is always big in my my dad's side of the family. We're having a big family reunion at my Uncle Philip's house. My dad has 3 other brothers and 2 sisters, and all but 2 of them have families, so we're all going to be together. Our annual tradition is playing badminton, so we have our rip-roaring badminton games, which are a lot of fun, and just lots of kids, lots of food, lots of space. It's going to be a lot of fun. You guys?
Somebody there should have a smartphone, so they should be uploading a clip or two of the badminton tournament for us to enjoy.
Yeah, you bet. I think I'm going to try to get that because it's going to be a beautiful day up here. After the rain's supposed to end around 3 or 4 this morning. It's supposed to be like 79 and no humidity and sunny. So, beautiful weather.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Alrighty.
So next week, don't forget, Jay Olegario is going to be on Snark Alec Radio.
I'm there for you, Tony. Count on it.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe not so much.
Yeah, actually, next week, do we want to start at 10:15? Do we want to try doing that?
9:15.
9:15.
9:15. I think we could do 9:15 because I mean, and I do really appreciate if I could, because coming in right off of Defiance will be kind of sweet, so we can talk right about it. You know, we'll have to figure out kind of what. Is Jay gonna stay the whole show? Do we know, or?
I don't know, and we'll find that out. I'll send him an email on Sunday and see what that's all about. But yeah, I mean, if all things being equal, if I can get home early enough where I can get the Hangout set up, because I set up the Hangout like at 7:30, and it was just sitting here waiting for me to say, okay, start it. If I can get that done, then it's no problem. The whole deal was we waited for Mike tonight, so we would have started on time if Mike was here. Dylan was here at friggin' 2 minutes after I sent out the invite, and then you came in. No, Kelly, you were here.
No, Kelly was there first. Yeah, I came in a little after that. Yeah.
But I mean, Dylan was right in. We spent more time waiting for Mike than anything else. So, yeah, next week, J.O. Lagario. .2.
How can you not listen to that?
How can you not listen to that? We've got more Werealive talk. We're going to have some Under the Dome, and we're going to have some Defiance. And
are you guys going to maybe hit the Strain when that comes out? It's coming out maybe not next week, but the week after, maybe like the 13th or something.
When the Strain starts, it all depends because I haven't looked at the times. That's a Sunday show, isn't it?
10 o'clock, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so and the last ship is at 9. See, I hate these 10 o'clock shows that kill me. But I'm watching The Last Ship. Are either one of you guys watching that?
No.
No. Should I be?
At this point, I'm going to say it's okay. But we can talk about it offline.
Okay.
I'll let you know on Sunday, after Sunday's episode, whether or not, because it's interesting at this point. But the thing is, right now, it's coming on at 9 o'clock on Sunday, which fills the void from Game of Thrones. And I'm hoping it's going to get me through until The Walking Dead. So, we'll see.
Okay, cool.
All right, so good night, everybody. And we will see you next week. Same Snark time, same Snark channel.
Hey, thanks for joining us, Dylan, and thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks, Dylan. Appreciate you coming in. We'll have you in again soon.